Welcome to the 136th Make Pro Wrestling Majestic again. I am Tiger Height.
And I'm Peanut Gallery.
So, I am changed my segment to talk more about drama. And obviously, this week has been a lot. There have been a lot of outside things going on, especially around the McMahon situation.
Yep.
I know being the dead horse, but that's pretty much what everybody is talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So, the big one with what I saw was basically the implication that Triple H is involved in this scandal or he knew about it.
Yeah, well, there almost has to be a given that being related to McMahon means that you're probably a little...
No, I do not believe that. This could be slander. Like 100%. If you are implicated in something that you are literally not involved with, in an attempt to character assassinate somebody, this is slander. Because she did not bring up Triple H. She didn't bring up anybody else other than John Laurinaitis, Mr. McMahon, and the implication of Brock Lesnar, even though it wasn't Brock Lesnar. So, but this really just highlights how absolutely insane these wrestling journalists are going at this point. They are going to try their damnedest to destroy WWE in some way, shape, or form. Like 100%. But also, I also have to bring something up, and I'm not saying that what happened to her, what did not happen, but something within, especially with the lawyer, is giving me a weird vibe. She is putting herself out there a lot.
Yeah.
And you should know, as a lawyer, if there is a current investigation going on, you shut your damn mouth. But she has done at least 3 interviews since this motion has been filed. Like, is that not sketchy to anybody else? That's so weird. It's either she's trying to get celebrity off of the situation, which is disgusting, or there's something else happening. Right. I'm not saying that she's wrong, but this is weird.
Right.
100%. It's just like my red flags are going up. John Laurinaitis' statement through the lawyer.
Yeah, and we're talking a little bit more about that on my end as well.
Right. But I wanted to show what this statement was. Basically saying that John was a victim.
Right.
So so 2 things here are being implied. A, the allegations are true because right now they're only allegations.
Right.
But number 2, that John Laurinaitis was a victim. How is John Laurinaitis a victim? Unless Mr. McMahon put a gun to his head and said, fuck the bitch. He is not a victim. And more so, he did it by himself at points.
Right.
So this is ludicrous, to the biggest extent ludicrous. The only person who is being big brain at this point is Brock Lesnar, and we don't even know if he was the one.
Right.
So, like Peanut Gallery said, we'll talk more about it, but I wanted to at least show the statement because it is absolutely ridiculous that this lawyer is like, he was a totes victim too, bruh. It's stupid. Speaking of victim, Maria, once again, being a fucking moron. Maria, if you had this problem with this company, why did you agree to be rehired by them? What if this was a problem? Because she complained about this the first time she was released too.
Right.
You are not a victim of shit.
Right.
You are not trying to change the culture of a goddamn thing, you credulous little bitch. All you're doing is piggybacking off of a possible really serious thing to get some clout.
Yeah, pretty much.
But this is not just Maria. I think I brought up Maria because this is just credulous. This is like the entire wrestling community as a whole. Trying to make an absolute mountain out of a possible mountain.
Right.
It's like there's an investigation. It's been established. The FBI are investigating.
Right.
How about
we all shut up?
we shut up and we wait.
Right.
They take this shit really seriously.
Right.
And I told you guys in a different video that I am a wait and see guy as it relates to allegations like this, because this kind of crime, other than being a child molester, is irreparably damaging to an individual on any scale.
Right.
So them taking advantage of that is just disgusting to me, and I wanted to point it out and call you guys a bunch of morons because you have no idea what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
AEW. All right. So I tried to find a better picture, but I couldn't. So this is going to be basically a absolute facts-based thing on how bad this situation is. And AEW's been hovering around the 800,000, but like steadily it's been declining.
Yeah.
But I think it's glaringly obvious based on these two numbers alone. This was fact-based of Collision on Saturday.
Now, is this coming Saturday?
No, this was from the 3rd.
Okay.
So I took this screenshot 21 hours after the original post. So this was actually screenshotted on Saturday.
Okay.
So you see the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people can fit the capacity for this building?
Don't know.
7,688, and they have the ticket distribution. This was the day of at 2,900. That is less than half by a significant margin.
Oh, that's like a third. Yeah.
There's no part of that is good. They couldn't get 3,000 people to show up. And this is in Texas.
Right.
This is a building in Texas.
So that just traditionally has a pretty good market for wrestling.
So this is really bad on every level.
Yeah, and people can make the excuse about the
Royal Rumble.
No. They can make the excuse about the entrance.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the
that's
thing
right.
is that then you have floor seating, which a lot of other sports don't have.
Right. Like this is, I don't know what the capacity part of this number lies on. I'm going to assume it does not include floor.
No.
So
yeah, you're just looking at seating capacity. You're not looking at floor.
They couldn't even get 3,000 people.
Right.
They couldn't get 3,000 people. Like that is not good in any way. And even if you're the biggest AEW mark, you have to look at that and say, okay, there is definitely something up.
Oh yeah.
But this one is even worse. So this is for Dynamite this coming Wednesday. So these numbers might change. The setup is 5,000. They haven't sold 5,000 yet, but they could.
Yeah.
They still have about 900 tickets available when I took the screenshot. You know how big this fucking building is?
How big?
The seating capacity is so horrible. This is really bad. This is the seating capacity for this building in every level. And the closest one that I could see is the end stage of concerts.
So we're looking at 12,000 for end stage concerts, which makes sense.
People, that is, once again, less than half. And you say, oh, well, look at theater. I don't know how they do the setup with as it relates to theater.
Right.
But when they do basketball, where there's no floor seating, hockey.
Well, there is some floor seating at basketball.
Oh, some. Well, yes,
definitely no floor seating in hockey and indoor football.
In the round concerts, which is where the platform is in the middle, so there is floor seating.
But there's no like large entryway or something. Like end stage concerts would make the most sense as a good comparison.
This is not good.
And how many seats did you say they were selling? 5,000?
The current setup is 5,205, and they are about just 1,000 away from making that. That is the entire, two upper bowls totally draped off, and they can't even get that. People are like, well, that's where the hard camera is. But those seats aren't tarped.
Right.
The tarping tells you that those seats were never available for purchase in the first place.
Right.
So them being empty means that those seats there's nothing about that card is enticing enough for people to make a purchase and go to the show.
Right.
So instead of hanging on WWE and everything scandal, how about you look inward and say, we kind of need to get something done because TNA is quickly coming up here.
Right.
I think they're hard to kill, almost matched the Collision.
Probably.
And Collision Collision is dead. Like, let's just get rid of Collision.
Oh, yeah.
Collision and Rampage, that'll help them a lot. But they really need... Stories are the driving force of wrestling.
And there are no stories, as far as I know.
Yeah, they just throw a bunch of people in matches and call it a fucking day.
Right.
Did you see the card, what they're doing?
No.
It's horrible.
Right.
It's horrible. So this is horribly embarrassing on every level. There was just my little stir the pot of wrestling drama. I probably missed one or two. I know there was some earlier.
Yeah.
But let me know let me know what you guys think about these stories. I think they were interesting. So when we come back, Peanut Gallery, what are we talking about?
Well, we're going to see about some news this week. So let's take a look.
All right.